Am I the idiot for banning my husband's female friend from our house? I, female 27, have been married to my husband, 32, male, for 3 years and haven't been dating for a little over 5 years. My husband has this friend, 31, female, Mary. They've known each other since they were in high school and she's considered one of the boys, if you may. That basically means she's always invited to all the fishing trips and stuff, which I don't mind at all. I trust my husband. Well, my problems with Mary started when she first found out I'm half Romanian. It started kinda innocently, with her asking me to say certain words, teach her some insults etc., which didn't necessarily bother me, but it usually put me on the spot whenever we were out with my husband's group of friends. It only escalated to her googling stuff about Romania and asking me, are you a vampire? Do you bite your husband by the neck? Are you a gypsy? I bet you've got some of that gypsy blood in you, which is just blatantly racist. Last week, me and my husband organized a mini barbecue with our friends and Mary was invited by my husband despite me telling him she makes me uncomfortable. He said he had talked to her about her remarks and she's been understanding, so it's unlikely she'll say something this time. It was midnight and there were about 4 of us left, and I accidentally spilled some red wine on Mary's jeans when I tripped over a carpet. All hell broke loose. Mary started saying that I'm a witch and I'm trying to ruin her life and this whole thing is part of my ritual, and I'm just an immigrant gypsy trying to ruin my husband's life and I'd poisoned my husband against her. I started crying and profusely apologized. When she wouldn't drop it, I kicked her out and banned her from ever coming to my house again. Am I the idiot for doing this? My husband insists that Mary was just drunk and talking nonsense, and he would talk to her. He also told me I'm way too sensitive about my heritage, and I'm an a-hole for banning her. Mary has since given me a half-hearted apology, but I'm still not okay with her. Edit, I guess this is the update some of you wanted. Sorry I'm still a mess and how coherent I am. We've talked. He admitted to being in and out of an affair with Mary in the first 2 years of our relationship, and she wanted to win him back, I guess. I called my mom to come help me pack some stuff and I'm out. That's it. Mary can have him. I've been gaslit for years and it took a Reddit post to realize. Oh, the irony. Thank you, Reddit. Edit 2 and probably the last one for a period of time. A lot of people seem suspicious of Mary and my husband's friendship/relationship etc. and have asked if I ever suspected anything. No, I didn't. Me and my husband had, or I thought we had, a very strong relationship, based on communication and honesty. Yes, it only applied to me. Also, Mary is very close with all the boys in the said friendship group. The other wives raised concerns in the past, but they've all been shut down by the boys in the group or by Mary herself. I guess I always respected their friendship group because they were very close for so long, and it felt unfair to change that because of me. As far as I'm aware, the other wives feel the same, plus Mary has been in an LD relationship for about 2 years and always claimed she's focusing on her career, she's too busy etc., so none of us ever saw her as a potential threat. But now it just makes me think there could be more to this story. But I'm tired. As of right now, I am just exhausted. My Romanian witch blood won't let me live until I find out the whole truth, but I need time. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. I think your husband needs to reevaluate the fact that he'd be friends with someone that's so disrespectful to his own wife. Comment 2. Not the idiot. She's being racist, and your husband should be standing up for you. Maybe down the line if her behavior improves and you forgive her you could consider rescinding the ban. But unless that happens you're doing a reasonable thing, and he should be in your corner on this one. Now for the update. Hey guys, it's me, the witch. I thought I'd update you because some interesting stuff happened since my post. Me and my husband, we have talked a lot, but the subject of Mary always seems to be a danger zone. He told me he isn't prepared to truly talk to me about Mary. We have tried to mend the relationship, but after a few therapy sessions, I realized I carry way too much resentment towards my ex for any kind of relationship to work. Since my ex was shutting me out, I decided to speak to Mary, as I found out through the grapevine that she wanted to tell her part of the story. Mary admitted she went through some situationships, by her description, with my ex and a couple of his other friends. The issue runs deeper though. When confronted as to why exactly she wanted me out so badly, Mary confessed that she actually got pregnant in high school, but she either doesn't know who the father is or didn't want to say it outright. I can't know for sure, but it's supposedly one of the guys in my ex's group of friends. I guess the most likely option is that the father is my ex, and she didn't deny it. The child in question was put up for adoption and apparently found Mary as her biological mother a few months prior to the wine incident, which caused her to mourn the family she had to give up on in high school and sent her on a downright spiral of depression and anxiety, and made me the sole recipient of her hate, because I was the only obstacle in her way of her happy ending. By my ex's account, he had no idea Mary was pregnant in high school because she told everyone she was studying abroad for a few months, and no one saw her or knew what was happening. On to the witch part of the issue. Mary said she went through a phase where she was hanging out with self-proclaimed witches during high school to recover from the pain caused by having to give up her child, the PPD etc. The witches gave her all sorts of ointments and then all kinds of readings about the child's future, etc. Turns out, the witches were a fraud, which sort of gave her the firepower to hate me even more and possibly fueled her fantasy. I'm honestly not sure how much of it is true, but here we are. In light of everything I discovered, I have to admit I do feel sorry for Mary. After seeing her perspective and talking with her, I can understand where she's coming from, but ultimately I am not her friend and the situation is none of my business, at least not after it's been hidden from me all this time. Plus, her being dealt a bad hand does not mean she has to take everyone down with her. I haven't been in contact with Mary and my ex since the divorce finalized in February 2021. I also did not keep in contact with my ex-friends' wives longer term. I appreciated the support, but it seems like my situation triggered quite a few arguments and relationship problems, and everyone sort of agreed to keep to themselves. Comment 1. What a steaming pile of hot garbage. I'm impressed with how gracious you could be to Mary, who didn't deserve it. I'm also impressed that you put so much effort into your marriage before realizing that it was truly over. You handled this with style and grace, and I wish you the very best. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Wow, you are truly a mess. It's clear that you thrive on drama and revel in playing the victim. You completely overreacted by banning Mary from your house just because she made a few harmless jokes and asked some questions about your heritage. It's not racist, it's just curiosity. You need to lighten up and stop being so sensitive. And now, you're trying to act all understanding and sympathetic towards Mary after finding out about her past. So what if she had some situationships with your ex and his friends? That's none of your business, and it certainly doesn't justify your behavior towards her. You're just using her past as an excuse to continue playing the victim and garner sympathy from others. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for not sharing my daughter's university fund with my stepson? My husband and I are a couple in our 40s. We've been married for 10 years now. We both have 17-year-old children. He has a son with his ex-wife and me a daughter from my husband who passed. When we married, we chose to keep a portion of our finances separate due to both having children already, previous real estate investments, and he having expenses like alimony and child support payments. We do combine our incomes for our mortgage and household expenses, our retirement, major purchases, etc. The college funds we have set up for our children have always been part of our separate finances, and as a result neither one of us have had terribly in-depth discussions with the other regarding the amount put into each child's fund. We do discuss what goes into them regarding tax returns, gifts from relatives, etc. I never expected both children's funds to be penny for a penny equal, but I did expect them to be closer than what I recently discovered. Both children have now applied to and both been accepted to university as it's their senior year. Now that a majority of scholarships are in, tuition and housing etc. are more concrete for each of their school options, we've started the specifics of the budget conversations. My daughter's college/graduation fund is worth roughly $150,000 while my stepson has approximately a $15,000 amount. Here's where the argument happened. With her scholarships, my daughter will have more than enough for undergraduate school and likely her graduate work as well, assuming she maintains her traditionally good grades. In fact, she'll likely have a good bit left over. Fine, I say, she can use it for a down payment on a home, whatever. After scholarships, and the $15,000 from his dad, my stepson will still owe for undergrad. My husband feels like we should just combine the funds. When we married, we very specifically kept certain things separate, and this was one of them, so I can't help but feel unwilling to just scrap that and mix things together now. It doesn't feel fair or right, but my husband thinks it's an idiot move not to give the kids the same thing. It's never been a problem when my stepson has had extras due to having another parent and household also contributing to his clothing, his car, his spending money, etc. But now suddenly we have to be even. And just to be clear, being even actually means giving my stepson even more of the money due to the fact that my daughter's scholarships are more comprehensive. The kids are close and I'm sure my stepson will realize there's a difference in university money. But if my husband wanted to change things, I feel like this should have been brought up sooner than this. Am I the idiot? Edit. Since it's been asked, my late husband was quite young when he passed, so there was nothing much to speak of in the way of an inheritance or life insurance. And yes, to reiterate, my husband and I did discuss this prior to marriage and agreed to keep the children's expenses as part of our separate accounts/finances. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. Aside from the fact he only wants to combine now because you have more money than him. Why can't/isn't his son's other parent contributing? Sucks for the sons, but this is literally what his dad wanted and you obliged. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's not fair your daughter has more college money, huh? Well, it's also not fair that your stepson still has 2 living parents to help him. Your late husband can't do anything more for his daughter than he's already done. He won't be at her graduations. He won't be able to congratulate her on getting her first real job. He'll never get to walk her down the aisle. If she ever has kids of her own, he'll never have the chance to bounce a grandbaby on his knee, or tell his adult daughter how proud he is of the incredible young woman she's become. Money can't replace any of that, but if it makes the start of her young adult life a little easier, it's a small consolation. Now for the update. When I originally posted, my husband's reaction was still pretty gut, and since then we've had a few days to talk things through. As I suspected, my husband's problem was never the fact that he only has $15,000 in my stepson's fund, just that by comparison my daughter's graduation gift is so much larger. In my husband's mind, the money he would be handing to his son would be a graduation gift to be used towards college but also other things, and that if my stepson needed additional help in the way of loans or financing we would cross those individual bridges as they came. The way he looked at it, handing a kid a check for $15,000 is huge. He was just suddenly blown out of the water by how much my daughter's gift will look like next to it. Anyway, we'll not be pooling the accounts. We clarified that any tuition money we spend on the kids moving forward will come from our shared funds, and will go equally toward each kid. Basically, if we give our stepson $1,000, we'll also put that amount in my daughter's account. If we loan either of them money, that's up to them individually to arrange with us. We let the kids know that their accounts are different, and that a lot of the discrepancy in funds is due to the fact that all of my daughter's gifts from family and her other resources etc. have been pooled into her account already, whereas my stepson still has his mother and other extended family members gifting and contributing at the time of graduation and as he goes. That's obviously not fully the case, but it helps speak to how aggressively each of us biological parents invested and looked ahead. The kids know that this has long been the case, as my daughter's biological side of the family is quite small compared to my stepson's side of the family where there are 20 times as many relatives. The kids are all good. My husband and I are all good. No one will be drowning in college debt as some comments on the OP feared. We just needed to have a talk about things. Thanks again everyone for all the different perspectives. Comment 1. Wow. You are getting the shaft here and are being strongly armed into paying for half of your stepson's college after you already have saved enough to pay for your daughter's entire college years. You were the responsible parent and saved up for your daughter's future, and your husband was irresponsible and did not save up for his son. Now the husband wants to share the cost of tuition for both kids even though your daughter's college is 100% already paid for. You have been manipulated to end up paying for half of your stepson's college expenses from here going forward. How can you not see what the crap end of the deal your husband forced upon you? Even if your husband and you agreed to give evenly from here on out, just wait until your husband claims he can't afford to do that, and you and him will just end up contributing only to the stepson's account. Comment 2. It just sounds to me like you are still sacrificing giving to your daughter for the sake of your husband's feelings. Unless I am reading this wrong. Why can't you add whatever the heck you want to? Then another commenter said, I believe she's still giving her daughter all the money that's in her college fund, but in the future when they give money to the kids, it will be equal amounts because money will come from shared accounts. If you enjoyed today's video, you'll like these ones too. Thanks for watching and see you next time.